Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to day 2 of our spiritual toolbox. My name's Lisa Lyle. This is my channel here on YouTube. If you are new, welcome. Take a moment to make yourself comfortable, browse around, and I trust there will be something here for you. If you find something that you feel is supportive, please do take a moment and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free to do. And it greatly supports my ability to continue to grow and expand my reach. And for that, I am eternally grateful. For those who have been traveling with me for a while, thank you so much for continuing to come back and to shine your presence of unconditional love in my life. You are truly a blessing for which I am eternally grateful. So, day 2, we are going to learn a little something about intuition and trusting ourselves, and it is a direct result of video 1, day 1, when we had a flyby by some swans. Since that time, there have been a lot of synchronistic moments, and so I'm going to take this opportunity to share a little bit about Swan as a spiritual guide and messenger of the light. So, if you haven't watched video 1 yet, please do have a look at it. And at about 10 minutes in, 10:01, I spot some swans. I think it was actually 10:10 in the video. I spotted some swans flying by. And so I was guided today to go back to that first video and see what it was that I was speaking of. And actually the guidance to go back came this morning after I was walking my little dog Luna, and I found first this random, I've never seen this packaging before, and then a little further on the walk, another one. So, confirmation that Swan really wanted us to acknowledge their presence, and at that time, I was encouraged to go back and listen to the message. So, just before Swan showed up in the video, I was speaking about God as a loving creator and my belief in God as a loving mother, father energy, and not necessarily the biblical teaching of God as a figure outside of ourselves. This is really an energetic that lives within us. So, also, I feel it's important to share my personal connection to swans. I've always been, I encounter them frequently down here. And it was just a few short weeks after my honey had transitioned back in 2018 on the day of the solstice, the winter solstice, so 12/21, that I had an encounter down here at the lake. I was so beside myself. I was so sad. I was missing him so much. And there were literally, I've seen one, usually two, mostly two swans in pairs flying by. And that day when I was feeling so sad and in a lot of pain, 12, and then bringing up the rear, 13 swans flew by, and they were all like trumpeting. They were trumpeter swans, and they were making their noise, and it just was such a beautiful kiss from the divine in that moment. So I really feel that this is truly what the message Swan is bringing to us, and the confirmation truly of yesterday's video that we are all on this spiritual journey, and the paths are as varied and many as we are. And the ultimate goal is to return home to a loving creator, a loving God that resides within our heart. So, of course, I, like a good student, took some messages, did a little bit of research this morning, and I first feel guided to share with you. I have a couple of animal oracle decks of cards, and we'll get into working with oracle cards deeper into this offering. But I was guided to go and find these two decks and pull out the Swan card. So in this deck, the wild unknown spirit animal, or animal spirit, here's a swan, and we can see it's like a mirror reflection. And it's this mirror energy, it's this energy of the beloved, and it's this energy that reminds us we are a beloved child of creation. We are a beloved child of God. And the message in the guidebook here says effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, and the inner vision is likely to be revealed. When in balance, we are in our infinite creative power. When out of balance, we feel agitated, snippy, and we lack vision. To bring into balance, solo time, writing. Okay, so that's that one. And then the next one, I can't find my book. I have Animals Speak, a book by Ted Andrews, and I went looking for it this morning and could not find it. So then was guided to the Animal Wise Tarot. And the swan in this deck is the Temperance card. And it says new dreams and new realms. And I truly believe that we were speaking a little bit. Oh, actually, sorry. I'm mixing things up. I've been doing a lot recently, but this is really a lot of this is about the energy of the full moon in Virgo, which is happening on the 24th of February, 2024. So that is about, by the time this is live, that will be 3 days away. And so if you'd like to be a part of that circle, you can go and visit my website, lisalyle.com, and get yourself registered for that event. So, temperance. So patience as we go through these shifts and as we change and things are opening up for us. So it says new dreams and new realms. The swan is an ancient and powerful totem. Even its name is one of the oldest in the English language, coming down unchanged since Anglo-Saxon times. The largest and most graceful of the waterfowl, the swan has the long, graceful neck, and in most species, the white feathering that catches the attention of most people. The neck is the bridge between the lower and the higher. When the swan appears, it always means that new realms and new dreams are about to open. Wouldn't it be great if they flew by now? I came back here today hoping that maybe they would make another appearance for us today. Swans feed on soft water plants, and its bill is so sensitive that it serves as an underwater feeder. This reflects that increased sensitivity to the new realms and energies associated with them will be awakening. A greater sensitivity to the feelings of us and of others is going to build. This is so in line with the energy of the Virgo full moon. And I mean, I've already been recording messages for this, and this is like what has already pretty well come through. It's pretty amazing. The swan is a cold-loving bird, and thus the winter is the most powerful time. We are still in the winter at this particular time of recording. Look forward to the winter for new realms and new sensitivities to really open up. If Swan appears during the winter, it reminds us to pay attention to those new realms and to pursue the new dreams before winter passes. Swan reminds us to try new things while holding onto our present securities, encouraging us to get our feet wet in new endeavors, yet also telling us not to jump in blindly, abandoning what we already have. Swan teaches us balance. Like the story of the ugly duckling, it takes time to mature into the beauty of the swan. Because the new realms are opening does not mean we should rush into them. Patience and balance are essential. The doors will remain open, and so there is no need to panic or rush. The swan is the totem of the child, the mystic, the poet, the dreamer, the part of us that knows our possibilities. I can't believe it. Honestly, I'm sitting here just like gobsmacked because these are literally messages that I brought through about this Virgo full moon and how Virgo is like our reality versus Pisces, our dream. And so how are we merging those in our experience? And perhaps that is a part of what we are meant to have the swan energy in our spiritual toolbox, because this is just confirmation of the gift of intuition, our imagination, and the practical steps we're going to take to bring our vision to our reality. And it's through trusting our intuition and allowing that to be our guide. Swan reminds us that the doors to manifesting dreams and to exploring new realms will be there for us when we are ready. That time is approaching, yet we must maintain balance as we move toward them. If we do, the dreams and realms will unfold in a way that makes every day one of beauty and of promise. So some questions we can ask when Swan comes onto our path. Are we trying to become the swan too soon, not allowing the beauty of our life and endeavors to mature and unfold in time? Divine and perfect time is always the time, and we are always on time. Are we trying to do too much too soon? Are we not looking before we leap? Are we pushing and trying to force growth and movement? And I feel like this is bringing the reminder that it's important for us to be compassionate and gentle with ourselves as we begin to open up to our spiritual essence and, in fact, who we truly are at the core, at the heart of the matter. So some of the things that I wrote down about Swan were purity. They're symbols of purity and transformation and the embodiment of our soul's essence and divine beauty. Swans, with respect to the video for day one, swans are really about a loving consciousness, a loving God who loves us all and seeks only for us to live our most joyful, abundant experience in this life, co-creating with that divine energy as it flows through and guides us. And swans give us the access, inspired access to the spiritual realms. Some key words for swan are majesty, magic, and majestic. Confident, inner beauty, poised. Determined, unique skills. So we each have a unique skill set. Are we using them? Strong, adaptable, graceful, serene, and focused. So swans are known to inspire artists of all kinds, such as poets, painters, singers, and they encourage us to honor our unique gifts, abilities, and the qualities that we possess. They also encourage us to address our underlying emotions. And there are always underlying emotions just under the surface. And this is our magic potion and, in fact, our key to service. So trust your intuition and your sensitivities and know that as you fly between the dimensions, your heart-centered intention ought to be to remain grounded and balanced while here on Earth, while navigating these multi-dimensional realms that we are also here to experience. Swans are always a positive omen and a blessing, and they are a sign of prosperity and the opening of the floodgates of abundance, of joy in life and on our path of service. They ask us to let our heart shine. Some things to watch for when Swan shows up in your life are things like vanity, pride, and inflexibility. So those traits of the ego, right? Vanity, oh, look at me, I'm so wonderful, I'm so beautiful, and da-da-da-da-da. And pride, how good we are. And yet it's important that we take pride in our work, we take pride in ourselves and our appearance and all of this kind of stuff, but pride in the way that it's spoken of here is a detriment. And inflexibility, are we very rigid in our mind? Are we not willing to see another side or to flip and see the other side of the coin? So the gifts of Swan are grace, obviously, and it's about developing our talents and allowing space for change and growth without pushing it. Release all that is no longer serving you. And then I just went through and looked into swans like throughout history. So swans in ancient Egypt were played a big role there also, and the goddess Isis had swan wings, and they represent the power of transformation. So this is our power. In Native American symbolism, swans are associated with their symbol of purity and spiritual awakening and the balance between the spiritual and the physical realms. They are a sign of spiritual growth, and they encourage a time of introspection. So again, that would be that inner listening to the intuition, getting in touch with that, getting comfortable with it, and then acting upon it. And in Hindu and the Buddhist traditions, Brahma, which is one of the Hindu gods, or God, the same God we're all speaking of, Brahma is often depicted riding a swan. And this brings in the power of discernment, which we were speaking about yesterday, and discrimination when it comes to spiritual practices. And again, there's no need for us to have a guru. We are our greatest guru. It emphasizes purity, grace, and spiritual growth, and a reminder of the transformative power of the soul in service to spiritual enlightenment. And that's what we're here for. We are here for the full-on experience of being human, with the recognition and acknowledgement that we are eternal spiritual beings. So that's my take on Swan. Can you believe this, though? Seriously. Okay, I got it. I don't know what that is. What is that? Maybe it's, they're filters or something. 50 papers and 50 filters in a new slimmer pack. Oh, maybe it's for weed. Who knows? It's a lot of dispensaries around these days. Anyways, I thought it was a pretty magical find, and it inspired this share today for day 2 of what's in our spiritual toolbox. I trust that something here has supported you under the beauty of my healing tree. Different perspective of it today. I'm up close and personal right underneath it. And so, until next time, everyone, I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you so much for showing up and being here. Thumbs up, comments down below. If there's anything you'd like me to cover over the next 20 days or so, please don't hesitate to reach out and offer your feedback and input. I greatly appreciate all of it. So until next time, I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thanks for being here.